Hi students, we are going to study about the subject called data structure using Python. This is a 4 credit subject which comprises of both theory as well as practical. The practical implementation is going to be done using Python language. So the prerequisite of the particular subject is Python programming. The people those who are familiar with Python programming can able to implement the concept of data structure using Python language. Before going to the subject, we just see why do we need to study this particular subject. As a IT professional, each and every student should know about the concept of data structure, which is going to be a essential as well as a simple conceptual subject. So at present we are going to have an advanced and innovation technology where the programming is becoming a highly in demand skill for software developer. Everything you see around yourself starts from smart TV till traffic light signals. It uses some sort of programming for executing the user commands. So data structure and the algorithm are the identity of a good software developer. Most of the giant industries, which is product based industries like Facebook, Amazon, Flipkart and all, are focusing on measuring the knowledge of data structures and algorithm, because those companies normally create products for their own purpose and they always expect the quality software developer to handle the development process. When compared to the other industries, the product based companies will always provide a higher end package. So this particular subject is very essential for each and every student. Okay, it will helpful for the placement. Now let us move on to the topic. So in unit 1 we are going to study about the basics of data structure. We are going to study about linear data structure, non-linear data structure, ADT and some extent of object oriented programming with respect to Python. The learning objective of this particular course is to provide the knowledge of the basic data structure and their implementation. There is a famous saying, bad programmers worry about the code, good programmers worry about data structure and their relationship. So obviously we should become a good programmer, so we have to be familiar with the data structure whenever we are going to develop any program. Why do we need data structure? So there are so many questions which is unanswerable. For example, I have to store a set of information, friends information in a social networking site. For example, let us take Facebook. We do have so many friends, hundreds and hundreds of friends in our network, and how do we able to keep track our friend information alone? You just think of, can you able to tell me how it is been done? At present obviously we cannot able to answer it, right? Even assume that we have so many online gaming. Let us assume that we have chess game. Okay, whenever we do any move in the chess game, the computer will also play against you and it also does some sort of movement. How it is happened? Can you able to do tell? Obviously we cannot. So once if we complete this particular course, we can able to learn how these real-time problems are being handled and how it is being handled using the concept data structures. Purpose of data structure. When you study the particular subject, it helps you to deal with different ways of arranging, processing and storing data. All codes are made for real-time purposes, so data structures allows the user to provide, use handle data in different ways. It also helps you to implement and solve real-time problems. So data structure is an essential subject which always gives solution for the real-time problems. Let us move on to the term data. What is data? If I say data, data is a collection of raw facts. Data is defined as a fact. It may be a figure or it may be an information that is been stored in or it is being used by a computer. For example, a data may be a weight, it may be a price, it may be cost, it may be an employee name, or it may be even an image, or it may be a sound or a multimedia data. There are so many terminologies that is being used to organize a data. Let us see one by one. Data item. Data item is a terminology which refers a single unit of value. For example, if I represent a student number, okay, it is a data item. Similarly, a mark of a student or a name of a student or an employee, whatever it may be, these things are data items. The data items can be divided into sub items. If we are dividing the data items into sub items, then we call it as a group item. For example, if I take name as a data item, I can able to group it with respect to first name, middle name and last name. So a name, a data which can be separate into different subgroups, we are going to call it as a group item. In other way, the data which cannot be divided, we call it as elementary items. For example, roll number, marks, we cannot able to divide it. Okay. The next terminology is entity. Entity is the data with a similar attribute which forms a entity set. For example, if I consider an employee set of an organization which has a number of employees, if all the employee informations are being grouped, then we call it as entity. For example, for an employee, they may have an employee number, they may have a name, and they may have a designation. If I have hundreds of employees and if I store all the 100 employees information, then we call it as a entity. The next terminology is information. Information is nothing but a processed data, the data with a given attribute. Okay, the entity which has so many attributes, and if we provide information to such attributes, then we call it as information. For example, if I have employee number as an attribute and if I give the employee number as 101, it is an information that I am going to give it for the employee number attribute. The next terminology is field. Field is a single elementary unit of information representing an attribute of an entity. If I say a single specific employee detail, then it called a field. For example, employee number is a field, name is a field, designation is a field. Next terminology is record. Record is a collection of field values of a given entity. For example, as I said, employee number 101, name as Ram, and the designation as manager. All put together, all the attributes or all the fields are put together, we call it as record. The next terminology is file. File is a collection of records of entities in a given entity set. So in file we are going to have a set of records. A record has a collection of fields and each field has some sort of information. Now we move on to the essence of the subject, data structure. What is data structure? So it can be defined in different ways. For example, data structure is a way of collecting and organizing data in such a way that we can perform operation on these data in effective way. We can say the data structure is a specialized format of organizing and storing data in a memory that considered not only the elements stored but also their relationship to each other. Even we can define data structure is about rendering data elements in terms of some relationship for better organization and storage. For example, assume that we have a data called player, okay, where name is going to be Virat and age is going to be 26. So if I say Virat, Virat is a string data type, okay, which has a set of characters, and age is going to be an integer data type which has 26, which represents 26 as a age. So these are all the preliminary data types which we are going to define in general in computer programming. Data structure affects the design of both structural functional aspects of a program. If I say program, it is going to contain both algorithm plus data structure. And the combination of algorithm as well as the data structure gives a program. So as you people are aware that algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a specific problem. Now we are going to see why data structure is important. It is important because it is used in almost every program or software system. It also helps you to write effective code, structure the code and solve the problem. Data can be maintained more easily by encouraging the better design or implementation. So data structure is just a container for the data that is used to store, manipulate and arrange. It can be processed by algorithm. Data structures are broadly categorized in terms of primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. Primitive data structures are basic data structures that is being used in computer programming. Example, integer, float, character, pointer, etc. Non-primitive data structures are complex data structure. For example, array, list and files. Lists are further categorized in terms of linear list and non-linear list. Example for linear list is stacks and queues, and example for non-linear list is graphs and trees. So in this subject we are mainly focusing on non-primitive data structure. So as far as the primitive data structure is concerned, the data structures are known as a basic data structure. It is directly operated upon the machine instruction. Normally, primitive data structures have different representation on different computers. The operation carried on primitive data structures are create, selection, updating, destroy or delete. Non-primitive data structures are highly developed complex data structure. Basically, these data structures are developed from primitive data structure. The non-primitive data structures is responsible for organizing the group of homogeneous and heterogeneous data elements. The basic operations carried out on non-primitive data structures are traversing, searching, insertion, deletion, sorting and merging. Non-primitive data structures are divided into linear data structure and non-linear data structure. Linear data structures traverse the data elements sequentially. So if you see this diagram, this is a linear data structure where data elements are going to be arranged in a sequential manner, and we can able to access the element directly by reaching it. So we can able to access a specific element directly in a linear data structure. Example for linear data structure is array, linked list, stacks and queues. Next is non-linear data structure. Non-linear data structure is opposite to linear data structure. The data values are not arranged in order and the data item is connected to several other data items. If you see this is a non-linear data structure where a single data item may be related with one or more data, so which doesn't have a sequential formation. It uses the memory efficiently. Since the data structure is a non-linear, it is going to be stored in a different location. It doesn't require a data to be stored in a sequential location. So it is free from continuous memory allocation. So it doesn't require any continuous memory allocation. Examples for non-linear data structures are trees and graphs. Linear data structure is a kind of data structure that has homogeneous elements. The data structure in which elements are in a sequence and form a linear series. Linear data structures are very easy to implement since the memory of the computer is also organized in a linear fashion. The commonly used linear data structures are array, stack, queue and linked list. So linear data structures always use homogeneous elements. It means if I declare a data structure of array, if I declare it as an integer type, it means that it is capable of storing only integer values and it will not support you to store some other data types in the integer array. Let us see each and every linear data structure. The first is array. Array is a collection of elements. It is used in mathematical problem like matrix, algebra and etc. Each element of an array is referred by a subscripted variable or a value called subscript, or we call it as index enclosed in parentheses. The second linear data structure is linked list. Linked list is a collection of data element. It consists of two parts, data and link part. Data gives information and link is an address of next node. Let us see an example. This is an example for linked list. So which has a single data represents two part, data part and link part. The data part holds the data value and the link part will holds the link of the next data. It means it has the address of the next set of data. Similarly, each node is going to have two parts, data and link part, which point out the next address. If a particular link is the end node, then the last part is going to be null. It doesn't have any value. It means that the data structure ends at that particular node. Next is stack. Stack is a list of element. In stack, an element may be inserted or deleted at one end, which is known as top of the stack. It performs two operations, push and pop. Push means adding an element in the stack and pop means removing an element in the stack. So it also called as last in first out process. Let us see with an example. So this is a stack which has a set of elements and it has only one open end where we can able to push the data inside the stack, and in the same end we are going to remove the data, that is pop the data from the stack. That is why we call it as last in first out. It means if I push an element, it is going to be placed at the topmost location, and if I need to remove the first element, that is the topmost element, is going to be removed. So that we call it as last in first out. Whichever entered inside the stack at the last will be removed first. So that we call it as last in first out mechanism. Next we have queue. Queue is a linear list of elements. In queue, elements are added at one end called rear and the existing elements are deleted from other end called friend. It is also called as first in first out mechanism. It uses a method called first in first out. So let us see with an example. This is a queue data structure which has two end. One end, that is the front end, we can able to remove the data, and the rear end we can able to insert the data. So whichever element enter inside the queue first will be removed first. That is why we call it as first in first out. Whichever element enter inside the queue first is going to be removed first. Your next data structure is nonlinear data structure. Nonlinear data structure is a data structure in which data items is connected to several other data items. Nonlinear data structures may exhibit either a hierarchical relationship or parent-child relationship. So it may have hierarchical, where from top to bottom there will be a different levels of relationship, or it may have a parent-child relationship. The data elements are not arranged in a sequential structure. So as like your linear data structure, nonlinear data structure will never require the continuous memory location. It is going to be stored in various locations. It doesn't require a sequential memory location. Example for nonlinear data structures are trees and graphs. Tree is a flexible, versatile and powerful nonlinear data structure. It used to represent data items processing hierarchical relationship between the grandfather and his children and grandchildren. It is an ideal data structure for representing hierarchical data. So this is an example for tree data structure, so which has different hierarchy, different levels. The topmost level is going to be, generally we call it as root, and it has different sections. Okay, one side we have a set of nodes, another side we have another set of nodes. So each node is going to be a child node of its parent. So if I say root node, a root node has two children, left side and right side, and each children may have its own its own children. Okay, for example, if I have a node here, it has a parent and it has a sibling. If two nodes which has the same parent, we call those nodes as siblings. So this is going to be the leaf node, which is going to be the bottommost, which doesn't have any further children. This normally we call it as leaf nodes. So this is how the relationships are being maintained for each and every data. This we call it as nonlinear data structure. This structure we call it as tree data structure. So next is graph. Graph is a nonlinear data structure which contains a finite set of ordered pair called edges. Graph is a set of elements connected by edges. Each elements are called vertex and nodes. So this is an example for graph. So it has a finite number of elements, and there will be a pair of elements that is being connected with edges. For each pair of elements we connected with a edge, and each element we call it as vertex. We have a relationship between each and every vertices. For example, through A I can able to reach B, I can able to reach C, I can able to reach D. At the same time, if I need to reach E, I can able to do it through A to B, B to E. At the same time, I can do from A to D, D to E. This is how I can able to traverse in a particular graph. Let's see the summary of this lecture. So initially we started with data, then we discussed about basic terminologies of data organization, then we discussed about what is data structure, why data structure is important, Then we discussed about the classification of data structure, which is primitive and non-primitive. Then we discussed about non-primitive data structure classification, that is linear and non-linear data structure.